Welcome to Math 1150 Online College Algebra with North Platte Community College. My name is Jared Daly. I am your intrepid instructor, and I've made this video to kind of show you how to get started in this class and get through some of the things that you need to do to learn college algebra. Hopefully none of you are too afraid of this class. I know that a lot of people have taken this class more than once. Hopefully we'll get you through this without much further trouble. First thing you need to do, and you've probably already done it if you're watching this video, is to go to the Mid-Plains Community College website and click down here on Blackboard Online Courses right down here, and that will take you to Blackboard where you can log in. Now probably the easiest way to log in, for me at least, is to go to this central login for MPCC faculty and students, and then you can just use your login and password for the email for the college or whatever it is. They should have sent you that information, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. But once you have logged into Blackboard, it will take you to your front page, which will have a list of courses that you are enrolled in. And this is college algebra, so I'm going to go ahead and click on college algebra. And from here we have several sections that we need to learn about here. And this is the course web page. It should say college algebra up across the top here, but they've recently updated this Blackboard system, so a lot of things were lost. But it says college algebra over here, I suppose. The first button over here on the left is the syllabus schedule button, and if you click on the syllabus here, it will open up the syllabus. I think it will anyway. There we go. And it'll give you this page that says if it doesn't automatically open, click on this. I'm going to click on that just to get this underway. It's a PDF document, so that you should be able to view it on any computer or pad computer or smartphone or whatever else. And it's the basic syllabus that you're probably seen similar syllabi before. Important information here would be my phone number for my office. You're more than welcome to call anytime you need help. My email address is more important. I check that much more often than I answer my phone. So if you have questions, concerns, you need some help, send me an email. The class begins on the 10th of June and ends on the 1st of August, and the 31st of July is the last day that you can drop this class without getting whatever grade you've earned in this class. So my office is in the new Health and Science Center, 217. Not likely as an online student that you're going to come in and talk to me, but you're more than welcome to. And I will be in here most afternoons, Mondays through Thursdays. But I will not be in here in the mornings very often, probably not on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. If you need to make an appointment, you're more than welcome to. Tell me what times you're available and I'll try to accommodate you. College algebra is a class that covers a lot of different things. I make a list of them here. We're going to be using the book College Algebra 6th edition by Alfman. And you're more than welcome to buy the book, but you don't necessarily need to. You can use the electronic book online. It's a lot cheaper and it has a lot more versatility to it. You can either go to the bookstore and buy an access card, then use that access card to purchase your online materials and your online book, or you can purchase them directly from WebAssign. If you want to purchase them directly from WebAssign, please contact me and I will help you to do that. The reason people do that is so that they don't have to come into the bookstore. And also it's a little bit cheaper, maybe $5 cheaper or something like that. This is an online course and we have lots of different online learning tools. Primarily videos are what are used for this course. And we will have several homework assignments. And if you're late with the homework assignment, you can actually extend the homework assignment right inside the homework system. The homework system that we'll be using is called WebAssign. We'll get into that in a little bit. But when you're doing your homework and all of a sudden it's due, WebAssign will give you the option to extend your homework I think up to about 5 hours, and you'll get a 5% penalty per hour that you use after that, only on the things that you have not completed before the due date or due time. And also we'll drop the 3 lowest homework scores to accommodate absences and so on and so forth. Exams, we will have an exam each chapter, I think for a total of 7 exams actually. We actually combined two of the chapter exams. We also have a practice exam, and the practice exam is not required. It is actually for extra credit. Is the practice chapter homework and the practice exam will be the only extra credit that I will offer during the entire semester, so be aware of that. And that happens right at the beginning of the semester here, right at the beginning of the course. How we'll be grading this course is that homework will be worth 30%, your exams will be worth 50%, and then I have a 10% professionalism and 10% final exam. 10% professionalism is that when you are contacting me or dealing with the college, that you use, the proper channels. You also comport yourself professionally. I don't really want to have to deal with students that are not behaving like adults. I've had to do that every once in a while. Generally, I don't have to worry about it. Generally, most students earn this 10 points without even having to work at it. But please, if you do need to contact me, ask questions, or deal with some problems that you're having, please do so with respect, and I will do my best to treat everyone with respect as well. I do not generally allow late assignments or late tests. If you're going to miss class for a test, if you're going to miss a test due date, tell me as soon as possible. We'll try to get you, taking your tests early, and you can take your tests as early as you want. You can take them anytime you want before the due date. You don't have to take them on the due date or anything like that. If you need to withdraw from the class for some reason, then you need to call the front office and talk to the registration people, and they'll take care of that for you. Syllabus is not a contract. Things might need to change. Usually the things that have to change are some scheduling thing that we usually end up having some conflict, but I think that I've fixed all of those for this semester. Also, we have the lawyer's paragraphs here about the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. I'm just not going to share your information with anybody that doesn't have a right to know. So if your parents want to know what your grades are, they're going to have to ask you or get written permission from you. Students with disabilities, we're committed to helping people with disabilities, but you do need to self-report, and here are the phone numbers to the people you need to self-report to, and tell them what kind of accommodations you would like to take advantage of. Here's the course schedule. We start off with the practice chapter. We start on the 10th, and the practice chapter homework is due on the 17th, so 1 week. And then the practice chapter exam is due that next Tuesday by, I believe, 5 p.m. I think that's what I set it for. And I'll show you the schedule and website how that works. And then we have chapter 1 homework, chapter 2 homework, essentially 1 week for each chapter. The only difference is all these homeworks are due on Mondays and exams due Tuesdays, except for chapter 5. Chapter 5 is a shorter chapter, and we've made that one due Friday, with the exam also due Friday. So the homework is due Friday at 1 p.m., whereas most homework is due 11 p.m. So the homework for chapter 5 due a little early, and the exam due early. And then we go a week to do chapter 6 and one section from chapter 7 to the next Friday. And then the final day of the class, which is the 1st of August, then you have chapter 8's homework due and the chapter 8 exam due, which is actually the final exam. So the final exam includes all of the information from chapter 8, and also includes a couple of problems from previous chapters. So it is a longer exam, and it is comprehensive, but it's made up of things you've seen before. Also, each exam only includes problems that you've seen already in the homework. The exam problems are taken directly from the homework. Another thing that I should mention is that exams will be open book, but they will not be open notes. You may bring a pencil, paper, calculator. You can bring a computer, but you cannot use any notes that you've taken or your previous homework notes or anything like that. You can use the book, but that's it. So that's kind of how this course is going to progress. And let's take you back to Blackboard so you can see what else we've got here for you. The first button was the syllabus schedule button. The second button here on the left-hand side is the button where we're going to be watching videos on different subjects. And I've got a folder of videos for each chapter, the practice chapter, chapter 1, chapter 2, and so on and so forth. Most of these videos come from a website. They're actually going to take you to YouTube, but they come from a website called the Khan Academy, and they're various math teachers. I try to use the best ones that I can find, and there are some pretty good videos here. They're essentially just people working out different types of problems, explaining different types of concepts in math, and I find them quite good. But there are many other learning tools that we have. So I believe to watch these videos, you might need to have Flash Player installed, just like you would have to have if you were watching YouTube videos. So there's lots and lots of videos, and some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. You've got 6-minute videos, 10-minute videos, 15-minute videos, but there's quite a few videos for each chapter. And I don't think most students actually come and look at these videos until they need to, because there are so many learning tools available here within their homework. So let's go down to the third button down here on the left, which is Homework and Exams, and let's open that. When you open Homework and Exams, it's going to take you to WebAssign, the WebAssign website here. And as a student, you're not going to see what I'm seeing here. You're going to see this version of it. It's going to take you to WebAssign with a slightly different view, and you're going to have a course, Math 1150, of course, that you're going to be taken to, and it's going to ask you if you want to. It's going to ask you if you want to pay for the class right now, or use an access card from the bookstore, or if you want to continue with your trial period. Now, it hasn't asked me to do that, but it will ask you because you probably don't have an account yet. If you do have an account, that's fine too. But that's where you'll make the choice. And I can actually show you kind of what that looks like. Let me see if I can, let's see if I can figure out how to show you what that looks like. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I probably can't, actually. But that's okay. We'll leave it to you to discover that. It's not really very hard to figure out. The only thing is that if you do want to purchase your access to WebAssign directly from WebAssign Online, you'll have to have a credit card or a PayPal account, and you can also use one of those gift cards from Walmart, little gift Visa cards. But you will also need to log directly into WebAssign to do that, and I think you will anyway. And you might need a new password for that, so you'll have to give me a call or send me an email if you're interested in doing it that way. Otherwise, just you'll enter in your code from the card that you're going to get from the bookstore, or whatever, and you'll be good to go. So this is what the course will look like. You'll have some notices up here that are maybe things that WebAssign will send you. Over here on the right, you're going to have announcements. Down here, you have a calendar, so you can actually click on the calendar, and it'll take you to show you when your homeworks are due and tests are due and so on and so forth. Like that. I've actually got a lot of courses in my WebAssign account, so it shows me a lot of things. Well, I closed the student view, sorry. Open that back up again. Some of the things that I want to show you really quick are, for example, up here at the top of the page, we have these bars here: home, my assignments, grades, communications, calendar, my ebooks. You can use these buttons. This will take you, of course, to your home page. This will take you to a page that shows the assignments that you have for this class. Right now it doesn't show any current assignments because the class hasn't started. You can take this and click the grades button, and it'll show you your grades so far in the class. We don't have any grades there, and we won't until after the first exam, or probably the second exam actually. And then the communication section will allow you to send me a note to ask a question or whatever else, or you can send me directly through email. Either way, it goes to my email. The calendar button takes you to calendar again. Ebooks takes you to your books, which we'll show you in a second. over here on the right you have notifications, and that's one thing that I want to click on because this will help you to remember if your homework when your homework is due. You can choose to get assignment reminders here 6 hours before, 12 hours before, or whatever, and you can pick what things you want to be notified for, and then you go to contact info, and this is where your email address is put in. And you can change your email address. Usually they're going to put in your school email address, which I've discovered nobody uses. Or you can also put in your cell phone number into here, and it will send you a text message when your homework is due. The way you do that is you have to figure out what your cell phone number email address is. Every cell phone has an email address, and so what I would recommend is you go to google.com and type into here SMS, let's see, cell phone, and what that's going to do is it's going to show you it's not showing you that. SMS emails for cell phone. There we go. SMS email cell phone. What this has got, what we're getting here is lists of email addresses for different cell phone companies. So for example, if you have AT&T, we don't have much around here I guess, but let's look for one that's around here quite a bit. Cellular One, we have some of those. You have your 10-digit phone number, which is whatever it is, area code plus your cell phone number, at mobile.cell1usa.com. If you have, what's another one that's pretty common around here? T-Mobile is another one we see quite a bit around here. It's your 10-digit phone number at tmomail.net. And if you put that in as your email address, it will send you text messages. I think the probably the most common one around here, US Cellular we see around here as well. 10-digit phone number at email.uscc.net. But Verizon is by far the most popular, probably in North Platte at least. You get your 10-digit phone number at vtex.com, and you put in that stuff as your email and WebAssign back here under the notifications link, and it will send you a text message 12 hours before your homework due, or whatever you choose. So it's a very useful tool, I think, for students, especially who are on the run working and doing other things, to get a little reminder so they remember to do their homework. So the next thing I guess to do is to look at the ebook. So let's go ahead back to the home page of this course. Math 1150, summer 2013. And let's take a look at the ebook. The ebook is down here on the in the corner, right-hand corner, or you can click my ebooks up here, but easier to do this, I think. We'll hit this button and it takes us to this ebook. Now, you do have to have some tools to view this ebook with your computer. For example, you have to be using Flash player of some kind, a Macromedia Flash player, I don't know, some other things, but they'll tell you that if you don't have those things installed, they'll tell you and point you towards those things, just because they are using some Flash programming for this ebook. And this is the same cover as the hardcover book, so it looks very similar. And up here in the left-hand corner, you have this contents button, which essentially gives you a table of contents, so you can cruise through this pretty quickly. Go to chapter 4, for example. It'll take you into chapter 4, and you can look at the different sections of chapter 4. But what I really want to show you, and I'll go into chapter 4 here. What I really want to show you are some of the tools that you have to study with. So here's a section in chapter 4, exponential and logarithmic equations. Let's say that we're studying along through here, we're trying to learn something about exponential and logarithmic equations, and I find something that's really important. I can actually highlight it. So I can pick my highlighter up here. These are the three colors you have, blue, red, and yellow. I can hit my highlighter thing up here, and I can drag through this and highlight a section of my book. Maybe I can highlight a section of my book. Right now the book is acting a little jittery, so I don't know if it's going to let me highlight it. Oh, there we go. Now it's letting me highlight. So it lets me highlight some things here. There we go. Here's some more highlighting. And then once I've highlighted some things, if I go over here to the left-hand side and hit my highlights, it actually shows me all the highlights I've made. And so today, which was June 7th, 2013, I have these two highlights. I can click on those and it'll take me directly to the place where I highlighted it. You can also insert bookmarks, which is quite useful. Add a bookmark into there, or you can put notes in to the different place. So I can click on some of these notes that I've made in this book, and I find that I've put in some notes, little sticky notes here, right? And the great thing about those sticky notes is you can actually click on them in the book as well, and you can add in a link. You can link this to a website that maybe you found helpful, or maybe a YouTube video or whatever else. You can also link it to another page if you find that this page is relevant to some other page. It's a useful. They're useful tools for taking notes within your book. And if you take notes inside your book, I'm not going to prevent you from using your book. You're more than welcome to use those notes that are inside your book on an exam, for example. So we've got bookmarks, we've got notes, we've got highlights, and we have all those tools down here on the side where you can look those up. Other things that are useful here is that you have this search section where you can search any part of the book, anything that you want to look up in the book. So let's say that I wanted to remember what the equation for a circle is. I can hit circle equation, type that into my search engine here, and it starts searching through the book, and it gives me all the things that have that. I can click on this page and it'll take me to page 173, the equation of a circle, and now here it is. This is the section that talks all about that, and that's really useful, especially when you're trying to find something very quickly. Another thing is that you can print. If you're just not used to reading things off a computer, if you need to go somewhere where you can't bring a computer with you, you can print these pages, print the pages you need, and you can take them with you. I think that it'll let you print 10 pages at a time, but in the end, you can print the entire book. It won't prevent you from doing that. Okay, so now I want to show you some of the learning tools that are inside this book, which are really quite useful. So let's go back to chapter 4, since I know that they had some in there, and let's take a look at chapter 4 here. Don't remember where they were. Here we go. So here we have this example in chapter 4 of expanding logarithmic expressions, and they step you through this problem and everything else. But over here on the left, they have these videos that you can watch. If you click on this video, it will take you to a Cengage Learning website where they have a little miniature lecture here. You can click on this video, and it's essentially a math teacher talking to you and teaching you how to do this particular problem, teaching you these particular concepts. It's a pretty good teacher, a little bland sometimes, but no more bland than I am sometimes, so I guess that's okay. Oh, I just erased my book. Dang it. Let's go back to that tab. There we go. Where's my book? I thought my book was here. It's not here, apparently. Well, okay. Oh, here's my book. That's where it was. Okay, so anyway, here's my book. But there are videos throughout the text for learning this stuff, and so the textbook itself is quite a useful learning tool. And in fact, I think it's even a better learning tool than the videos I have on Blackboard. But they're both quite good. Okay, so that is the textbook, the e-book. Of course, the print textbook doesn't have any of those features. It just has the print textbook, and you're stuck with what's printed in it. However, I do want to show you some of the homework, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this section of this thing, and I'm going to take us back to my WebAssign page so I can show you a homework assignment. And let's take a look at the schedule in WebAssign. Will kind of show you something kind of like this. Mine is different than yours because I have access to scores and everything else. But it'll have due dates over here and due times, and you can see that exams are usually due at 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. or something like that. And then homeworks are usually due at 11 p.m. I would like you to make an appointment with whoever you're going to take the exam with. Remember that you have to take the exams with a proctor. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but it is written in the syllabus. You have to take your exams with a proctor, and usually the proctor is somebody at a library, a librarian, or an educator somewhere at a school somewhere. You need to send me their information, their name, an email address, so I can send them the passwords, because each one of these exams will require a password to get into it, and they will also administer the test and make sure that you're, adhering to all the rules for the test. If we wanted to, let's open up a homework assignment here and take a look at what we're going to be seeing in WebAssign for homework. WebAssign is a system that allows me to create all kinds of different types of problems, from multiple choice to random number kind of problems. So here is one of the examples, one of the exams, or one of the assignments in chapter 1. And you can see here that at the top we have the list of questions. There's 13 questions on this homework assignment. And down here we're dealing with polynomials, and they want us to solve the polynomial and give the numbers as a comma separated list. In other words, there's going to be more than one solution to this, and so we need to have more than one answer. It might be 5 as one of the answers, and then 3 might be the other answer, and 4 might be the other answer, so it's a comma separated list. But when you start typing things into WebAssign, sometimes they bring up a math pad over here that allows you to put in symbols like square roots and functions and other things in here. So you have the ability to put in things over here that you normally wouldn't have on a multiple choice question test, for example. Also down here you have some helps. If you want to read about this problem, click the Read It button, and it will take you directly to the book, and it'll actually take you right to the section where you need to learn about that stuff. So this takes me into the book. It opens up the book, and it opens up the page to chapter 1 and the part that we're learning about equations of polynomials. And then there are videos within the homework as well. If I click on this Watch It part of this, it takes me to a WebAssign video where I can watch this concept being taught and this problem being done. It actually works through a very similar problem to the one that you're doing. It shows you how to do it. And these videos do have sound, even though you're not hearing it. I've got my sound turned off. And every once in a while, they'll have an option for you to try it. So they have this Master It button here, where they give you a similar problem, and you can try it without any penalty. In WebAssign, you're allowed 7 tries to get a problem right. And if you try all 7 and you don't get it right, then it's wrong. So you have lots of opportunities to try and get it right. These questions are randomized. In other words, your homework assignment will not necessarily be the same as another student's homework assignment in the same class. So if you think that you can just enter in the answers from somebody else's homework, it's just not going to work. WebAssign is a mathematical engine, and it can randomize problems. It can even randomize multiple choice problems, so be aware of that. So that is kind of how the homework will work. Each time that you enter an answer in here, there will be a button down below that says to submit. I would recommend submitting every time you have an answer that you're ready with. Don't put in the answers for the whole assignment and then submit the whole assignment. Submit each problem as you do it. That way you don't lose your work if your internet goes down or something else happens to your computer. WebAssign has been fairly reliable for me and have very few problems with it. Although there's always something that a student has some kind of concern with. Usually it ends up being a computer problem or a network problem and not a WebAssign problem. But if you have any problems with WebAssign, contact me right away, and we'll get it taken care of, and we'll work it out with you. So WebAssign can also accept answers that are symbolic. So let's actually go back and look at one that might be. I think there's some here in this assignment. In other words, you can put in algebraic answers like x minus 2 or something like that. And that would be the case in this problem. When you simplify this rational expression, you're going to get something that might be, x minus 7. And WebAssign can deal with that. But it can also deal with things like the square root of things. If I want to do the square root, I go up here to my tools buttons, and you can see I've got a square root symbol, and it puts a square root with a little box. And then I can click in that box and I can put square root of y inside of that box, right? Also, you can put things in exponents. So we've got this option. We've got all these functions down here where I can put something in the subscript. I can put something in a superscript and subscript. I can put different types of roots. I can do absolute values. I can do e to the some power natural logs, 10 to some power logs, so on and so forth. Lots of different things to do there. I can use Greek symbols if I need to, infinity symbols, other types of symbols. I can do relations, less than, equal to, so on and so forth. Lots of different options that I can use. You got, of course, your add, subtract, multiply, divide up here, so on and so forth. There's just so many different things you can do in WebAssign, and it can handle it no problem. If you need to put in a fraction into WebAssign, then you go ahead to these functions, or you can go here to this one and they'll put a fraction in with a box in the top and a box in the bottom. Then you can go ahead and enter in 5t in the top and whatever it is going to be in the bottom, 3s squared or something. If you want to put in squared, then you're going to have to maybe figure out your symbols here. That's fine, or my functions rather. Put in an exponent somehow. Here we go. So it's going to be 2, 3 to the 6th power maybe, or something like this, right? And sometimes WebAssign has a hard time if you just put in 5t, so you want to put in 5 times t, for example, just to make sure it understands what you're doing. And then you would go ahead and hit enter and call it good. So, not enter, but submit. And I don't have the submit buttons here because I'm not a student, but they certainly will be there. So, the only other thing I want to mention is the Proctor site form, which is right up here. And this thing has given me trouble recently. I created this a while ago and I need to go back in and recreate it and try to make it more stable. But this is just a form I need you to fill out for your proctor. If it doesn't end up working for you, then you need to just email me the name of your proctor and their email address so that I can send them their passwords. Once you have sent me your proctor information, I will go ahead and I will give you a score on this proctor site form manually. And if you've got a score that's like a 1, then it means you've turned it in. If you don't have a score at all, if you have a score of 0, that means you didn't turn it in. But if you have no score at all, then it means that I haven't yet entered it in. So, and that is the course. That's what we've got for you this summer term. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please contact me, and I will help you out. As far as questions go, I will often answer a question by sending you a link to a little video where I will show you how to do a problem. And that link will be on a website called educreations.com, and I will send out an email, or I send a message to everybody in the class with how to get onto this website. But essentially, this is an online whiteboard that allows me to give a little mini lecture on my iPad and then post it here for you. And I actually have quite a few of these already posted. Let me see if I can get into my account here somehow. There we go. If let's go look at my college algebra class from 2013 spring semester, you can see here that I have lots and lots of different little examples that I've posted from class and for different students. And so if you wanted to come on here and watch one of these, you just come on and click one, and then you could watch this lesson. Now, then you could also ask a question. You could click here and ask me a question, and it would send me a question, and I could go ahead and answer that, or you can send your questions by email. And so this one happens to be about 25 minutes long, and it's mostly me talking. But later on in the thing, I'm actually doing some writing on the whiteboard along with my lecture, and you can't hear it, of course. There it is. So I will send that information out when the course begins. And that's all I have for you today. So good luck. Welcome to the class. And please contact me immediately if you have any concerns, questions, or problems as you begin this course. Have a good one.